history nerd. I'm actually quite nerdy. That's the one thing that people don't know about me. I'm actually quite nerdy. Yeah, I am a history nerd. I love dystopian literature. I love going to the arts museum, and I really purely only watch documentaries on Netflix. So I think this is something that people don't usually know about me because when they see
I love
Tram and
it.
my
Yeah.
company, they think all I do is travel and have fun. But I'm actually a little nerd.
I love this.
Thank you so much for having me. Yeah, so my name is Gabby, and I'm actually the founder of Trappe. So Trappe is spelled as Trappe. So basically, we are a travel platform providing travel options around the world that are kind to the planet and good to the people. And I guess, of course, I'm also a person outside of my company. So I guess a little bit about me. So I am originally from Singapore. Left when I was 17. I've lived and worked pretty much in around Asia Pacific. I've
Mhm.
lived and worked in Australia, China, Vietnam, and
Wow.
Indonesia. Yeah, so yeah, and I am a bit of a history nerd. I'm actually quite nerdy. That's the one thing that people don't know about me. I'm actually quite nerdy.
Beautiful, beautiful. I love everything here. Oh, okay. So I'm going to start with the questions, Gabi. I love that intro, I want to tell you.
Thank you.
Let's start from the beginning, like the roots of everything. If we just rewind a little bit, how did you one day think I want to start traveling and like visiting places and what does travel mean to you overall?
Yeah, I think I am very lucky because I'm from Singapore and also Singapore is a very small country. So I think I started traveling at a very young age. Even just going to Malaysia, you can literally drive from my house to Malaysia. It's literally 30 minutes. So, I
Oh,
started traveling at a very, very young age. And I guess one of the things as to why I really wanted to travel, I actually don't know when it started, but I really wanted to get to know people from all over the world. I wanted to
yes.
learn about new cultures. And this started actually at a very young age because one of the reasons why I left at 17 was really because it was very much my dream to go and explore the world. And part of exploring the world is learning about new cultures and learning about his, like I said, I'm a bit of a nerd. So I want to learn everything about a country. Yeah, and I guess what travel means to me, it's really exploration, I think. I think like the world is so big. And I really realized this when I first moved to Australia when I was 17. I just realized, oh my goodness, there's like so much more out there in the world. And I think just like everybody else, right, who travels, once you catch the travel bug, you
Yes.
can't stop. You don't stop at one
Yes.
country. You literally want to see the whole entire world. So yeah, I don't think like, the roots of it is really different from anybody else who actually loves traveling.
Yes. I, I mean, yes, I think there are different things that spark our desire to travel, but at the end, there is this thing that connects us that is curiosity, right? Like we are very
Yeah.
curious to see what else is out there. Yes, yes, and you started like very young. You're very lucky.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah, I
that.
am. I really am very lucky.
So, if you can describe or have to describe your way of traveling, like maybe you can use a tag, but maybe you can find one, but you can just describe it. How would you say is your way of traveling?
I would say remote locations and off the beaten path. For me, the harder to get to, the more I like it. I think there's always sort of been a little
Yeah.
bit of my travel style. According to my
Yes.
mom, if I want to go somewhere, it usually takes like 300 bus rides and two boat rides, and
Yeah.
I love to explore places that people don't go. Just on
Yes.
I don't know. I like it. I guess like I said, it's a bit of this like explorer mindset, wanting to see
Mhm.
places that people don't usually go. And I think another thing would be like meeting the locals. I've really put myself in situations whereby I get to meet local people. Like for instance, like the last 4 months, I've been in the Netherlands, but instead of
Yeah.
spending a lot of time in Amsterdam, I've decided to spend a lot of time in the north of Holland, in the middle of nowhere, whereby everybody is Dutch. So that I kind of put myself in an environment whereby, I have no choice but to interact with local people, and that's the way I like it. And yeah, I guess that also plays into this whole like remote and off the beaten path, right? Because when you do go remote off the beaten path, there is really nobody else but the local people, and that's when you really get the chance to interact with them. So I would say that's pretty much my traveling style.
That's amazing. I love it. And how do you like find or like how do you find the places? I'm just curious
Um,
so I can copy
yeah, no, no, of course. I think a lot of times is recommendation. A lot of time,
Okay.
I think I really go out of my way sometimes to look for this kind of things. Like, or just like everybody else, like I also look through
Yeah.
like social media. I also read blogs. I read a lot of newsletters. Like I said, little nerd.
Okay. Yes. Yes. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
a lot of times, like, all of this do come up, and nothing, you're like going to a more conventional place like Rome, or like
Mm,
going to like Paris doesn't really
yeah.
interest me that much. So I think when you are naturally drawn to things like this, you go out of your way to look for it. And I also have friends who kind of like have the same travel style, and we kind of share a lot of like information with each other. And that's where
That
I kind
makes
of
sense.
discover all of these places.
That makes sense. Now I want us to talk about track travel because, like, even before we connected, I just found the site, the platform Track Travel. I don't remember if I was Googling or social media, and I just love the platform because it it's not just like something that a mission or something, but this or a concept. It's love. Like your website says, here I'm pouring all my heart for something I believe in. Like to me, that was what I saw when I found Top Travel, and that's why I wanted to connect also with you. And I would love to listen what Top Travel is about and why did you start with it.
Yeah, thank you so much for loving Trap.
It's
I think it
beautiful.
really, yeah, thank you. I think, a lot of it come from the fact that well, before I started Trap, it feels like a lifetime ago. But I was in
Yeah.
luxury hospitality. And I think that was really when I first sort of like noticed that there was something wrong in the tourism industry. I
Yeah.
was working in a hotel that used to sell hotel rooms for like 350 USD a night, and then we were paying the local people 150 USD
Mm,
a month. And I was genuinely shocked when I found out. I just couldn't believe like that was happening. And
yeah.
also, I spend a lot of time with the local people, whether that's through my travels or even in my professional life, because working at a hotel, usually there's only that many foreigners and
Yeah.
that many expats. But, everybody that I interact with at work are the local people. So then, I really got to spend a lot of time with them, and you really got to know them. And I just thought it was really unfair that like they were
Mm,
not reaping the benefit of tourism, especially when they are people who worked in the tourist industry.
yeah.
So that's when I realized, okay, there really is something wrong with this. And how it really started was because I actually went to Bali. I was supposed to start a new job in Bali, but COVID
Oh,
happened. So they said, okay, we don't have a job for you. And yeah, and I guess like, I guess COVID made all of us sort of think a little bit more about what travel means to
it is
all of us, right?
true. Yeah.
And during COVID, I was very lucky to be able to start working online. Like I used to do marketing for hotels, so it was very easy for me to
Mhm.
find a remote job online. And that's when it introduced me to the world of startup. And I just thought like this is the most fun thing in the world, because you get to try everything and do everything. And that's not something you can always do in
Yes.
sort of like international luxury hotels, because there really is like a brand standard. It's very box and square, it's very traditional.
Mhm.
So yeah, and when I was living in Bali, obviously Bali is like a tourist hotspot. You live with the reality of
Yeah.
of mass tourism every single day. But I was very lucky to meet this group of sustainability people. This is a sustainability community in Bali, and
Yeah.
that really inspired me to want to start something, because everybody in this community, had their own
We're
was
doing
doing
something.
something, had their own mission. Yeah, so
Mhm.
that I was just like, okay, I was so inspired by these people, and I thought to myself, like, okay, I know there's something wrong with this industry. I have insider knowledge because I came from this industry, and I
Mhm.
used to be the one that greenwash for hotels, so I know what to look out
Oh,
for. Yeah.
yeah,
And yeah, I was just like, okay, you know what? Like, I know there's something wrong. It does not seem like people are doing anything about it. And if I have this knowledge, why not try to do something about it? So yeah, that's pretty much the backstory of how Trap started.
I
Yeah.
love what you
Yeah.
said about how you travel, like travel spark in you, or like the connection that you did, because it's not easy. Sometimes, like, we see a lot of things outside that we don't like and we want to change. So it really takes I want to say courage, like the decision to say, okay, I'm seeing this, I want this, to make this different, to be differently for people, and to make something, to make a little change, at least that it's in my hands. It's not that common. So
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I would say I think a lot of this really did. I mean, I was talking to a friend recently who was also sort of in this space, and we both agreed that I think what really pushed us to want to do something is the fact that we've really spent time with the local people and the local community. I think
yeah,
sometimes on a very surface level, if let's say you meet a local person and you go out with them for a day or you go on a 3 days tour, okay, you kind of like have the interaction, but to really
yeah,
live so deeply rooted with the local people and to really see their everyday
yeah,
struggle, and that you have to you are in a more privileged position, you have the power, you have the knowledge. It's really very hard to be like, okay, you know what, I'm just gonna let these
yeah,
people suffer. I'm not gonna care about them. I think, and any human being with a heart, if they were to really have this experience of spending time with the locals and really living with the local people, I think everybody would start travel, to be honest.
see, that's what I'm saying. Like, when I saw trap travel, it's not just the concept. You see, it's like the feeling. That's exactly what you're saying. Like, you connected with
Yeah.
the emotions of, like, okay, I'm seeing this, I'm living it, I'm experiencing it in my bones, and I can just live this, like if I'm not feeling all these feelings. That's exactly what I saw on your site. It's not just the concept of we need to change something, but it's a feeling there. Okay, I love it.
Thank you.
um, is there, like, I imagine that you have a lot of moments, but is there like one moment specifically with someone's story, or I don't know, feedback, or something that reminded you deeply why travel came to life? Especially maybe
Yeah,
in those moments when we are starting something and we get a bit lost, and there comes a reminder from outside. Okay, oh yes, this is why I started this in the first place.
Yeah, I think for me, I mean, obviously being a founder is not easy at all. I think there's more hard moments than easy moments. But I think,
Yes.
what's really kept me going is really when, the local businesses that we do support, text me and be like, hey, Gabby, we got a booking that says they found our bus from Trap. And I think for me, that just makes all of the difference. It made like everything that's
Yeah.
been difficult worthwhile. I mean, end of the day, that is really why I started Trap, because I really wanted to empower the local people and give back to the local community. And when you hear the local business come to you and be like, "Oh, we got a booking from Trap," and that really just is like the best feeling in the world and the most magical feeling in the world. And that's really what has been keeping me going when things are hard.
Yes, I love it. And is there like maybe one particular story that you remember? No, if not, no, no worries.
Yeah, so yeah. So there was it was very funny because one of the businesses that we supported, I think it was a mother and daughter, a
Yeah,
traveler. And basically it's the daughter that found out about Trap, and
yeah.
it convinced the mother to go on one of these tours in Bali, a very like local village tour in Bali. And afterwards, the mom actually wrote a review on TripAdvisor for the business
Yeah.
and said, I've been to Bali 10 times, and this is the first time that I really learned anything about Bali. And I feel like this is the first time I've ever
Ah,
experienced Bali.
yes.
And that just meant the world to me, because so much of what we promote at Trap is about local experiences, is to go to a country, not just as a traveler, but really get to know the local culture, get to know the local people, people, know about their
Exactly.
history, know about their heritage. And the fact that she's been to Bali 10 times and this is the first time she felt she knows anything about Bali, I think that just says everything. That just means everything to me, and it
Yeah.
validates, like, I guess, what Trappe is and what Trappe really represents.
It does mean everything, and it's so true. So, I know that you've been shaping Trap Travel. It's, like it has been growing, but also you have been shaping it with experience and the feedbacks and everything. And I know because we talked about this that you have been pouring your soul, and it's more than a mission. It's something that you hold in your heart. And of course, and I know it, every growth process and starting something that you really believe in, like brings challenges and lessons and also moments of unexpected joy and pride. Like, I did this, I make this happen. So what would be like one lesson maybe and one thing that you feel really proud of?
Yeah, I think the lessons that I've learned in the last year, I think it's about sitting with rejection. I think, being a founder, there's so many multiple different layers to it, right? I mean, we usually in a traditional job, you're very good at everything that you do, right? Because that's your
Mhm.
specialty in your job. But then when you're a
Yeah.
founder, you're doing all these things that you've never done before in your life. So, there's a sense of like, I guess there's a sense of rejection in the sense that, you go to work, you do a good job. People tell you, okay, well done, good job, good work, right? But then when you're like a
Yeah.
founder, firstly, you're doing 10,000 things that you've never done before and you're not good at it. And then on top of
Yeah.
that, like nobody's here to tell you good job, well done. So a lot of being a startup founder is also about going out and testing different ideas and testing different things. I think the last year, we've tested a lot of different things as well, and a lot of them fell flat. A lot of them didn't gain traction. It didn't get the notice that I hoped that it was going to get, and that was something very, very hard to sit with. And I would say, I would admit that towards the end of last year, I think I was having a lot of it was very hard for me mentally and emotionally to deal
It
with a
is.
lot of
It
this
is.
rejection. Yeah, but I think I've done a bit of a self-reflection at the end of the year, and I've realized that part of this whole rejection is part of like building something, and it's part of growing. So I think
Yeah.
this year I've sort of changed my mindset a little bit. I mean, nowadays we get rejected so much more than before because now we've expanded globally, and we're reaching out to businesses from all over the world. So I think I'm probably getting rejected like 100 times more than I was getting rejected last year. But I think I've managed to change my mindset and turn my mindset around this year. So I would say, learning to sit with rejection is probably one of the biggest lesson I've learned last year. And one of the things that I'm most proud of, and I think it still goes back to empowering the local businesses and knowing the fact that we are really driving bookings to the local business. And it's not just like, oh, we're just always talking about it. And, there's really no result. And like, I think nothing really beats like seeing results and really making an impact and the kind of impact that you
Yeah.
really hope to make as a company.
I love that. I love like both sides because what you said about rejection, it's so true. Like I been feeling the same feeling, and I think that it's at the beginning it's so hard, right? Like you learn, I think, to take rejection in a way that it's not personal, right? Like
Yeah.
you learn to separate those things. Okay, like one thing is me, they are not telling like no to me because oh you are you, they're telling me no because they believe in different things, they like whatever the reasons, but it's not right, it's not about me. And it's hard to understand at the beginning because I don't know, it's your ego, but yes, but it's just part of building of the road. And also, I think that it's part of connecting with the right people. Like you don't want
Yeah.
everyone in your boat. So it's part also of life filtering who you need on your side of the right I don't know. I feel
Absolutely.
like it's but I'm with you. It's like really hard at the beginning, and it hurts your heart with
Yes.
each rejection. But but it's okay. It's a filter. Like then you learn that, and then yes, I think that I love what you're saying. Like seeing and feeling the impact that you are actually making slowly. It doesn't matter if I think I'm learning that also, that it doesn't matter how fast you go. It's about the impact that you are making step by step, because at the end of the day, that was the goal. You mentioned Bali a lot, but I think that today it's not only in Bali that Trap is not working only with Bali, right? I was just going to ask you
Yes.
that.
Yes. So like we've expanded. So in our first year, it was we did Bali as a destination. I think it was very much to sort of like test the market and to understand what kind of traveler and what kind of demographic really resonates with like what we're doing, because there is like everybody in the world say they want to travel more sustainably, but like there's really only a small percentage of people that really take action and want to do something about it. So last year with Bali was very much it was very much I guess like a test, like an idea.
Yeah.
And also because I spent the last 5 years in Bali, so I really got to know all of the amazing
Mhm.
businesses that were doing all this good stuff in Bali. But this year we have decided to go international. So now we are global. So instead of only providing travel options in Bali, thank you, thank you. We are providing travel options from all over the world. And just like what you said, we are doing it very, very intentionally. It's not about grow at all costs and scaling as fast as you can. I
Yeah.
actually jump on a call with every single business, whether they come on board or whether they don't come on board. I take the time to get on a call with every single one of them, get to know them, really get to know their work. One of it is obviously to validate that they are what they say they are, and second is also to meet all these amazing businesses from around the world. And yeah, like it's made my job so much more. I don't know. I love what I do now, to be able to speak to all these amazing businesses from around the
Yes.
world and meeting so many people who are like-minded. I think yeah, it's really amazing, and I am so excited to expand to even more places. But of course, only with the right businesses who really align with what Trap stands
Yeah.
for.
Oh, I'm excited too. I think that's wonderful that you are like expanding and just bringing this love to other places beyond Bali. I love it. I love it. um, Let me get back to my questions because I got distracted. Oh,
No.
where am I? Okay. Okay, this is more Gabby, more about Gabby, from all the trips or experiences that you have had. Is there one or two that are more close to your heart for any reason?
Yeah, I think one of, I mean, I would say the one that's closest to my heart is definitely when my grandmother, who was in her 80s, came to visit me in Hanoi when I first moved to Hanoi. And because I
Oh,
was so new to Hanoi as well, we got to really explore Hanoi together.
that's
And
nice.
that's very close to my heart. Unfortunately, she did pass away 3 years ago, which is quite difficult for me because she really is the love of my life. And she actually inspired
I'm
a lot
sorry.
of things about trap. So one of the things that she's always taught me growing up is to be kind. She said, I don't care what else you do in the world, but you have to always be kind. Be kind to other people, be kind to the planet, be kind to the animals. And that's why, in our tagline, it's kind to the planet and good to his people. So this whole being kind thing really came from my grandmother. And it was very much a shame because when she passed away, she actually had no idea that I was building Tribe because it was so new, and it was just very much an idea. I wasn't really doing anything. I just really had this idea. And it was, yeah, I wish she would still be here to see Trap and to see what Trap is today. I
Yeah.
hope she is very proud looking down from heaven. But I
Yes.
would say out of all of the experiences that I've had, in terms of traveling, that for me is the most special travel experience, and something that I hold very, very close to my heart.
I love that story. And grandparents should be like forever, right? Like I
Yes,
know.
I agree. I agree.
I know that feeling. But like I feel like the words from grandparents they impact differently in our life. What they say, what the things that they tell us, they have like a different, like a forever impact in our lives and in what we do. Is like, and I love that story. What was the name of your grandma?
So her name is I. So I mean, she's Chinese, so she has a
Yeah.
Chinese name. Yeah, so her name is I. So
Yeah.
I actually means love. Yeah, she's
Oh,
very
that's
very
beautiful.
special lady, and she actually brought me up. So between the age of 1 to 4, I was actually living with my grandmother. So she really formed a lot of my younger years, whereby I was really starting to have consciousness and all of that. So yeah, I would really attribute a lot of like where all of my just love for like the local people and all of this. I would say is very much because of her.
Beautiful. I love it. Yes. I. Mm. And in terms of places, I'm just going to go with curiosity here, Gabby. In terms of places where you've been experiencing, because I haven't really like I've been traveling more like I don't want to say a tourist because it was not a tourist, but not in the depth like you've been traveling, right? Like with locals or going like really far from the touristy places, maybe. And I would love to ask you, like, from all the countries or places that you've been visiting and traveling this way, your way, what has been like one place or experience that you didn't expect, like, to find this or experience this?
Yeah, I would say Flores in Indonesia. Oh my goodness. I have never, I mean, I've lived in Indonesia for 5 years and I actually do travel
Yeah.
Indonesia quite a bit, but nothing was like Flores Island. It is such a shame because people only go to Labuan Bajo, which is like the Komodo National Park that's like super
Yeah.
famous on like social media, but people don't even bother to see the rest of the country, the rest of the island. So I literally took like a 1 month motorbike trip throughout the entire island, all the way to the end and all the way to another remote island. So I would say Flores, Indonesia, definitely go and make sure you go further than Labuan Bajo, which is the Komodo National Park. It has
Yeah.
just absolutely blown my mind in terms of scenery, in terms of the local people, in terms of just the amount of different cultures and different language. And on this remote island, they have this like one of the only remaining like whale hunting villages in the world. And it's just such an eye opener. I got to go onto the boat to go whale hunting with them, but thank God we didn't hunt any whales because honestly I wouldn't really know how I would have reacted to it. But I want to be respectful because it is their culture as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, I would say Flores, Indonesia, definitely. If there's one place in the world to
Wow.
go before you die, it would be Flores,
Yeah.
Indonesia, honestly.
I love it. I need to go. Yes.
Yes, yes,
And I'm
absolutely.
going I'm going to message you before that so you can give me
Yes, yes,
all the
yes.
other. What's one change you would like to see in the travel industry and also in travelers' choices in the next few years?
It's so hard because there's so many change I want to see. But if I have to pick one most important But if I have to pick one most important one, I would definitely say supporting local business. I think at the end of the day, that really makes the difference in the world. Because I mean, so much of what we do at Trap is about really closing the economic leakage in tourism. Like, I think what people don't realize is that a lot of your tourism dollar and a lot of your tourism spending does not actually go back to the local people and go back to the local
Yeah.
community. So, I would say the one change I would like to see is people really questioning whatever they're booking and whoever they're booking with, is it local? Because booking local is not only just about supporting the local people, but often it also gives you like the most authentic experience. Like, what better way than for the local people to show you around, right? I mean, like, this is like common
Yeah.
sense. And I guess the other one which is tied to this is also like booking direct. So it's not only just about booking like a local tour on a platform like Get Your Guide or all of this like booking platform is really about booking direct because all of this platform actually take a commission. But so that's where the economic leakage come, right? Because the percentage of the money that you book actually goes to this platform rather than the local business. So if you were to book direct with the business, then the business get to keep 100% of your tourism dollar. And I think that's only fair because firstly, they are local. This is their home. And, secondly, they are the one that is actually curating all of these experiences for you and giving you the best experience you can
Yes.
possibly have when you travel. So I do think they deserve 100% of this money, no matter what the argument is.
Yes. And it's not about feeling guilty. It's just about, you know how to do it. This time didn't work for some reason, but you know how to do it. And you know that you can uh make that choice whenever you can. And I love that. And that's why I think that it's important for platforms and accounts to share this information, because if not, we don't know.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
it's a
I
challenge.
guess Yeah, I guess the other alternative is that you can visit traptravel.com and we've already done all of the filtering for you, so you don't even have to go look for anything yourself.
So wait, we didn't mention this. You have a blog, a newsletter, like a lot of information on Trap. People can subscribe and receive, right? Let's talk about that too
Yes,
also.
yes, yes, yes. Yeah, so we do have a newsletter. We send it out every single week on Thursday. It's called Help I'm Trapped. Very easy
Yeah.
to subscribe. Go to our website, just subscribe to our newsletter at the bottom of our page. Yeah, so in our newsletter, we very much curate news around the world. So not just anything related to travel news. You can be the opening of a new cultural museum. It can be, a new city that's just become the first organic state in India. There's so many of these like little golden nuggets and little bits and pieces of information. And yeah, and also every single week we introduce amazing people like you who really resonate with like what we're doing. So, I think
Yeah,
it's really good to also learn from each other and learn from other people. So that's why we
it
do
is.
this sort of like people feature. And then we also
Mm.
spotlight one business from around the world that is, I guess very much aligned with the trend value. So yeah, it's a fun little newsletter, very fun, very colorful, very lively. I write it
Mm.
personally myself, and writing this newsletter really is the highlight of my week. So yeah, so if you're a little nerd like me who enjoys reading a lot of newsletter, if there's one travel newsletter to subscribe to, I would say it's mine.
Well, that is true. It's very like easy to read, and you can relate. I like it a lot. I love it. Yes,
Yeah.
Gabby. I know that we've just been talking about this New Year thing, 2026. It's different in the Chinese year, but whatever year or moment, like let's think about the future. What's next for Gabby and for Trap? What projects, dreams, anything?
Yeah. What's next for Gabby is Gabby needs to get some sleep at some point in her life.
Yes.
What yes. What is next for Trap? Okay, so I mean I've shared this with the businesses. So all the businesses that's on Trap, they know what's my dream for Trap. But I very much would like to get as many, local businesses that really aligns with what we do onto our platform. And I think like, the more businesses we have, the more variety we have, I think we will start getting more audience as well. I want people to start shifting away from other platforms onto our platform because we are highly curated. We really care about the businesses that are our platform. They are very specially selected by us as well.
Yeah,
And that's how I would like to grow Trap in the future.
I love it. I love I love how you're thinking. Yes, I love it. Congratulations. It's going to happen. Like sometimes it takes a little while, but I know that it's going to happen because there is not only much love, but
Yes.
it's also a very big mission of making this change. And I love it. Congratulations. Okay, so
Thank you.
I'm going to be sharing, Gabby, all, of course, all your links, the platform of Instagram, so people can just connect with you, message you. Also, if they're maybe curious about traveling in this other way, a more meaningful way, they can, if they have questions, they can come to you, and then to find you, to follow you, to support this dream, this project, because I love it. And yeah, thank you so much for joining me.
Yes, of course. Thank you so much for having me. I really enjoyed our chat. And yeah, anybody who is curious about anything, please reach out to me. I still reply to every single one of my emails, LinkedIn messages. It's all me. So even though I do have a team, but I really believe that, this personal touch is what really separates us from other places. So yeah, reach out to me anytime. Especially if you are a like-minded traveler. I am always up to meet everybody who are like-minded. So